Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and today we got some more Future State books, and I want to talk about one in particular, which is the Justice League. Now, I went to this immediately after Dark Detective, simply for the fact that I knew Joshua Williamson was on this book, and I can't name anything really by him that I dislike, so I figured it would be good, right? It's a fair thing to think. Well, it's different. And the biggest problem I have with Future State books is the fact that they don't give you a good timeline in the beginning of the book. Just something, a little bit of exposition, literally a line saying what year it is. Now, Justice League takes place in 2040, right? So it is 15 years after the next Batman, meaning it is also a few years before the solo Yara Flor book. It's all not, it's all a little convoluted, right? And I am really enjoying it. I don't want to give that impression, but they need to do something to kind of hammer out the timeline when this goes into trade form or something, because if I'm getting confused, somebody that doesn't read comics on a normal basis will absolutely just put it down. Now, let's get into a little bit of the Justice League, but make sure you are subscribed. As always, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this book. I did really enjoy it. There are a few things, though, particularly I want to talk about with it. So we open up and we see a little backstory as to what the Justice League has been doing in the last 15 years, who they have been fighting, and just, them going up against danger and being a team. Well, this is where things start to get interesting, and I'm going to go through each one of these. They don't give you a great introduction to this team. Now, the best thing about team books are you already know the characters. You know them from their solo books, right? So you don't have to get to know the characters. We don't know these characters very well. We've read about John and about Yara, but as far as the rest of the characters, we know a little bit about Andy Curry just from being a baby. But other than that, we don't know these characters. So putting them on a team book is really hard, and then adding stipulations on top of it makes it even harder. So they do a sentence each of exposition, right? We've got the son of Superman. We all know who he is. Then we've got Yara Flor, whose predecessor wished to bring back the peace in humanity. She wishes to bring back peace upon the gods. All right. We've got this line is a little insulting. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite insulting. Batman, the new Batman, the next Batman. He did the one thing his predecessor didn't, meaning Bruce Wayne truly saved Gotham. All right, totally. Okay, all right. So then we have Joe, and I like Joe a lot. Don't get me wrong. She united the Corps just in time to solve Oa's greatest mystery. Okay. This new character, which I actually really like throughout, but they came from the multiverse to warn the world of a great conspiracy and stayed behind to help with the fallout. What was the conspiracy? What was going on? It doesn't give us any good, clear character definition, and that's really unfortunate for a team-type book. The daughter of two great heroes explored the universe, forging new pathways between worlds and uniting them like never before at a personal cost. What was the cost? Do you see where I'm getting here? We don't know these things. So to put them together in a two-parter, this is only the first of two parts, really makes things convoluted, and it really makes things confusing. So let's get into what happens. So we see T.O. Morrow, and he is talking about the Justice League, how much he hates them, how they are false gods, and we get an introduction to the new Legion of Doom. And some of them are old characters, but a lot of these are really cool concepts that get wiped away right away, right? We have Despera, daughter of Despero. We have Amazek's Cobalt Blue, the Screech Owl, the Flood, and an Ultraviolet Lantern. I love all of it. I would love to see more about it. But you can't because they're dead. immediately wiped out. They were going to take over the Justice League, and whatever they were going to take it over with, which we'll find out at the end here, it killed them. So we see them investigating. And this is where I want to talk a little bit about the rules and regulations that they put upon the Justice League. It's basically no fraternization. They can't talk to each other outside of their league meetings or outside of a mystery like this. They can't, or they're not supposed to, at least. We'll see different. But they also aren't supposed to know anything about each other's personal life. That's the biggest one that I think it messes up this whole thing. And they're not allowed to know each other's name, which obviously some of them do. Everyone knows John, right? So the biggest thing here, and it's proven right away why it doesn't work, is Yara asked Flash about the crime scene. Check for survivors. No, wrong Flash. Wrong Flash. He can check for survivors, but he can't know anything about the crime scene. He is not that Flash. That was Barry. So it is actually Joe that is, the detective in this, the world's greatest detective. I'm assuming that they still think Bruce Wayne's dead, I hope. Otherwise, again, another insult. But we see them going through this. They talk a little bit about the rules and regulations, and I do think there is some major issues with that. Do I think Joshua Williamson had a choice? No, I don't. But we see the Flash and we see Andy talking and talking about how things used to be. And we see Joe. She says, you guys can all leave. Basically go. I've got this. I'm the detective. I'm awesome. Here we go, right? So they do. They take off. And I was actually surprised to see nobody was like, hey, do you want a little extra help? No, they were just like, bye. So we see Yara show up, and she's got some hot dogs for John. And I have a sneaking suspicion that between this book and Superman and Wonder Woman, they're totally gonna bang. But that's just my suspicion. I could be wrong. Probably not. They're gonna bang. Anyways, so we see what they do a little bit after, right? And she's like, we shouldn't be together. We're not even supposed to be fraternizing this much. You're not the Superman of tomorrow. That was your father. You're the Superman of today. You need to follow these rules. And John is kind of against them, right? And I think this whole thing is going to change as to they need to be more like the Justice League was in prior years and be like a family, or this won't work. It simply will not work. Now, we see him fly off. We see Batman here. We see Joe kind of going through the crime scene. we see Yara. She spends her free time karaokeing. All right, I like it. The next Batman. At first, I thought that was maybe like 70 Brown's costume next to him, but I do think it's his own personal costume, sit next to him in bed, and I guess so. So we go to Andy. Love Andy. I love Andy. I don't know if it's just because I loved her as a little teeny tiny baby or what, but I really do like this character. So she's talking to her parents who are off doing something, and she's telling them that the Legion is all dead, and there's this swoosh, right? The Flash comes in, and here's the thing again. They're definitely close. They're definitely fraternizing together, right? He knows where she lives. They know about each other. They're feeding each other popcorn. There's something definitely going on there, and it's adorable, but they're definitely not following the Justice League rules. Fuck the rules. Anyways, so then somebody shows up outside, and it looks like Yara and John are very upset that they're fraternizing. They're breaking the rules. How could they do that? Well, at the same time, Joe's working on the crime scene and saying, well, Superman just showed up here. And Andy's like, no, Superman's here. And we realize that both the Supermans are false Supermans, right? And they flash away. They transport Flash away, and then they end up doing the same thing to Andy, and we see that these are not obviously the true Yara and Jonathan here, and the same thing happens to Joe. She has the same issue, and it keeps going, right? They get everyone. Well, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of the Grant Morrison stuff we've seen before, because these are the Hyper Clan. I I absolutely love it. Bringing back something old, making it new and fresh. We've got the Hyper Clan back. They are white aliens, white Martians. And before they made the mistake of coming to Earth as themselves, well, now they're going to shapeshift into the Justice League, and they're going to take over. I really like this start. It is a little rocky. The rocky part of this is just not knowing enough about the characters to have a team up. And I have no problem with that and getting to know them. I don't at all. But the no fraternization, all of these weird things kind of lead me to a place where I'm like, was that really necessary? Or is there something in the future that they're going to show us it absolutely was necessary? So I'm curious to see. But it definitely was a good book. The art was beautiful. Joshua Williamson did a great job. And there's also a Justice League Dark story, which kind of continues from Rams V's Justice League Dark run with Bobo and some of the others. It was very, very good. I love Ram V's writing. He does a great job. He really does. He did Swamp Thing last week, and it was fantastic. I should have reviewed it. I just never got to it. But this was a really good start for Justice League. But on the same thing, you can't build a house on sand. If the foundation is not there, it's going to sink. They need to really, really do some exposition in the next one to tell us who these characters are and why we should care about them in order for me to care that they're saved or save, the Hyper Clan. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this, what you think about the new Justice League team with, I think I love Andy the most. She's going to be my favorite. I like the new Flash, too. This is the non-binary Flash that was in the news a while back. I believe they and Andy are actually dating. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.